Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. Hi.
Hi, and welcome to another chat. And if it's your first time, please welcome to the family. In the spirit of love and kindness, we always want to engage with each other in compassion and love, and of course, kindness.
Yes, we do. Thanks for the weekly reminder, Gloria. I love that. And for all of you that are new to our channel, thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
And we would love it if after this video, you would hit the thumb icon to show that you liked our video. Please consider subscribing to our channel because we love our supporters and we want to do many more chats to come.
Yes.
And you can hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our chats.
Yes.
Okay, and for newbies, as we're Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea, we always start off with the tea that we're going to be chatting over.
Yes.
And today we are drinking...
Ta-da-ta-da! Now, you know we love organic India teas, and this is the Tulsi Sweet Rose.
Love it.
This is one of our favorites. It's very thin. We're going to have to buy another box.
Yeah, we're going through it.
Yes. The ingredients are, it's a proprietary blend, which I love, organic chamomile. It is organic Tulsi blend, which is holy basil, East Indian basil. That's a combination. Then it's organic rose petals, organic lemon myrtle, the leaves. So you get the purity of the I tell you, we wish we had smell vision. You would love this tea. And then it has organic stevia leaf, just for a little, sweetness.
We love it. And for those of you that are new, we just like to say that every time we open up the teas, before we dunk it, we like to smell the actual tea leaf, the bag that it's in. And it smells, even the packet.
Even without the tea in it,
smells
so
good. It smells like a combination of things, but the sweet rose stands out.
Yes.
And it's just so yummy.
Yes.
Yummy. So we've had it seeping, and it doesn't, for this particular flavor and this brand, you don't need to seep it for that long, and the flavors just come shining through.
I mean, you know how sometimes we tell you, we're going to let it steep a little more, and not with this one.
We love it. We love it. Let's smell it.
Oh my God.
Love it.
Love
Cheers.
It.
Cheers, everyone. Delicious. Delicious.
What I really love about a good tea is you don't have to add anything. You don't have to add sweetener to get the full bodiness of it. This particular brand, very, very good. So we're going to get some more flavors.
Yes. Have we said it's very good? We'll say it again. It's very good.
Yes. So as we begin our chat, we always start off by saying we send our thoughts and prayers to the human and the animal race. In fact, the entire planet Earth, and all planets within the galaxy and the universe. Because we know through love and kindness, we can do so much better. I believe in my heart that if we could go through life heart-focused, a lot of the drama that we have today would go away. When we were kids, we were raised with love, honor, and respect. And that's kind of dropped by the side.
It really has.
Yeah.
It really has. Sad.
So that's something that we always want to keep our focus on, love and compassion. So remember the last time we chatted, we skipped last week. We were out a week. And we talked a little bit about the new Kelly and Mark show. And some people were like, well, Mark's an actor. Why is he doing this? And then, but people were excited because the two of them started out together on All My Children as, Mateo. They were in love. They were a young couple, and then they became a couple in real life. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday show was live. And when fans found out they pre-recorded Thursday and Friday, it was on. Why are they doing that if he can't have the time to do the show? Why did he sign up for it,
Right, but before, when it was Kelly and Ryan, was it always live?
Well, no, there were times that they would do some pre-recordings, but Ryan was on American Idol. He had his radio show.
You're right.
He had
other things that he was doing besides just that show.
Right. And maybe Mark is doing the same. I think they got the message, though. If he's going to be the co-anchor, he needs to be there and be the co-anchor. Because she made a comment that when she's done with this, she's done. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and hopefully Mark's going to show up more, because he is such a little cutie pie. He really is. He really is. It is with deep sadness, if you haven't heard, that we announced the passing of Len Goodman. He was one of the original judges of Dancing with the Stars. For me, he made the show more authentic. Some of the judges, like you could be flat-foot and they would say, well, your form up top is really good. You need to work on your legs. Len would be like, it's like you're slopping in mud. His little comments, he's like, you're drugging your feet in cement. I mean, he goes, get up on your toes, man, on your toes.
He was more technical because he actually came from another show from the UK called Strictly Ballroom.
Okay.
And he was a dancer himself.
Yes.
So he was, I would say, one of the only judges from way back in the beginning that was more technical and really wanted to. And he didn't like foo-foo in the if you did a routine that was foo-foo and wasn't much of, let's say you were doing like what are some of the like cha-cha-cha, or if you're doing jive, he wanted to see real movements that was authentic to that particular style of dance,
like the tango. I mean, I remember one time he was judging someone and he says, you want to make it appear like your clothes are just dropping off. It's just that overwhelming, desire for each other. And he's like, I didn't feel it. I mean, he's just he's going to be
loved him. He was funny, but he was had his serious side.
Yes.
But what I loved was that there was always a laugh with him. Whenever he judged, it was always a laugh, and he had these funny jokes.
Even when he talked about people, I remember there is a rapper, his name is Master P, and he gave him a 2. I will never forget. Now, the score is supposed to be 1 to 10. He got a 2, and he didn't get much higher than a 4 before he was off the show because he wouldn't wear the shoes, but it was really sad for me because the last season is the first one I ever missed since it was on the air.
Yeah, because that moved to Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, it's streaming. And I'm like, you have enough money. You don't need money from me to watch a dance show. So I'm really sorry, because when I saw the recent pictures of him and how thin and frail he had gotten.
Yes, because I actually because even though I have Disney Plus, I watched a few episodes, but I never watched the whole season.
Right.
So I don't even know who won that season. I don't even know week to week. Yeah. Before we would be doing updates and who we liked and who we're cheering for.
Yes.
And then I don't know why, even though I had the channel, I could watch it. It's something about coming on. When I record it on my regular TV, when I was on regular TV, it would come on and show up on my recorded.
Right. And it would remind you sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
so
sad. And I know that he'll be missed by a lot because Dancing with the Stars is not the same without him.
No. Even when COVID hit and he wasn't there, they would pipe in conversations with him because people miss his humor. Bruno is really cute and Carrie Ann is, cute. And, now we have Derek. It still was missing that what I call that international flavor. Because when Lem, even at his age, when he would go into a movement and he would strike a pose.
It was still very, very like technically.
Yeah, perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
So
I missed him.
Yeah.
And I will miss him going forward because I didn't see the last season. And
I didn't either. I'm sorry I didn't, but I'm like, Disney, you have so much money. You don't need any more money from me. American Idol. So did you watch over the last 2 weeks? Did you watch where we picked out the top 24? And then over the last 2 nights, we went down to the top 12. Did your people make it? Were you excited about who were chosen? Were there any aha, oh my God moments for you?
I was really happy because all the people that I wanted to go through went through. And there were so many people that had to fight for their lives, sing for their lives. And I knew why. Because they just weren't good enough. I mean, and even when they were trying to sing for their life, I was like, what kind of song is this? You're singing for your life and you're singing this kind of song?
Yeah, who picked that song for you?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand it, but I really, really am happy with the top 20. My few that really I loved was...
you mean top 12?
Top 12, sorry. Yeah. Top 12 is Wei Ani. I'm so glad.
That's the one that I keep telling you about, that when she talks, hello, how you doing?
Exactly
and
like
then
that.
She opens her mouth
to sing, and it's amazing.
And you know what I really like about her is her breath. When she's singing, she is fully grounded. She slows it down. Her pronunciation. I mean, I really think this.
She actually changes it up a bit.
Yeah, she makes it her.
Yes, she does.
She makes it her. It doesn't. It's not like I'm pretending to be Whitney Houston. If she's going to do a Whitney Houston song, it's going to be her singing a Whitney Houston song.
Right, not trying to be karaoke-ish.
Not trying to be. No.
So I liked Wei Ani.
Okay.
The other one is Tyson Venegas. He's the Filipino boy. Oh my God.
He's Canadian. He's only 17.
I didn't even know that he wrote that song that he sung.
Yes.
It's an original song.
Yes.
And I was telling my husband, hey, I think that might be a song from her, that singer her.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was, because she had won an award, a Grammy for something. I thought that was it. But then when I found out it was his own original, I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Hands down. It's like a lot of people are good at singing, but they can't write songs. He's a true artist.
Yes.
I am Tongi. I am of course.
Of course.
No doubt about that.
Yes.
And then the other two I liked is Zachariah Smith. I love him. He seems kind of funny.
Yes.
When he's not singing, but when he starts singing, he gets into it.
Serious.
He's serious, but he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
He really knows how to work the stage, work the audience, and have them connect with him.
Yes.
And Nutsa.
Yeah.
She's like a hit and miss for me, but I do think that she's very, very strong. My husband always says, I can't get over the fact that she had to sing for her life. It's because the song she sung brought out her accent too much. Her accent came out and people didn't like that. So I'm like, I didn't. It was okay. So those are the ones that I liked. Who did you like?
Okay, all of those. Not so much Nutsa, just because I think sometimes, I it's like you have to. That's why I'm not a professional singer. I can sing. I love singing. They make me sing at church, not by my choice, but by their choice. My sister has an even more beautiful. I mean, she could make Whitney Houston sit down.
Oh wow!
But she's scared.
Yeah.
Because if you are afraid, even though you know the breath, you know the song, the pitch, it just gets a little off.
Yes, if you're too scared.
And so that's what I was getting with her.
Oh, okay.
Now who was that? Colin Stout. He is the young man that played the guitar, and when he finished, Luke ran up on stage and hugged him.
Yes,
he was like, it doesn't matter what, and that's something that the judges are doing better this year. They're telling them, it doesn't matter whether you win, lose, go home, it doesn't matter. You are now a performer. All you have to do is just show up and claim it. So that was really cute, because Luke was just like, oh, and then was that Tongi who sung?
Yeah, Stuck on You.
Yes.
Lionel Richie's song. That's
and
right.
And he also went up and hugged. I mean, the judges are getting out of their chairs. I mean, when they're singing and they're performing, and they hit the notes, it's like, yeah.
But I love the way that, did you hear? I Am Tongi, he sung it, but he changed it a bit.
Yeah, you have to personalize
He sped it up and then he slowed it down again. Yeah. And that reminds me of Adam Lambert when he was on American. He would change all the songs.
He should have won that season. Yeah. I mean, nobody can sing like him. I just saw him on that tune, That's My Jam show.
Oh, That's My Jam with Jimmy Fallon.
He took a nursery rhyme and pumped it up. And it was just amazing. He is a brilliant singer. And then the other person I really, really like is Lucy Love. She is a single mom.
Oh, yes.
She is doing
She won the sing-off.
Yes, she did.
She sang for her life.
Yeah, and she won because she can sing. She just, once again, she gets caught up in her feelings. I really want this. I need this for my children. And what she has to do is get out of her head and just sing.
She really did bring it, and she really sang for her life.
Yes, that's why she won. So that's kind of where we are with that. We're going to keep an eye on it as we go forward. That was that. It was.
We want you to comment below who your favorites are, because we want to know, are they similar to us?
Yes, and if there's someone different, or if you feel like they sent the wrong person home, tell us about it. Tell us why you feel that way, because we want to know. Okay. Every chat we talk about shootings. And initially it was mass shootings. That was all we were hearing about. And now we're hearing about people shooting people because they're mad. They're just upset, and they're just shooting at people. They're shooting on freeways and hitting children. And every time this happens, I keep thinking to myself, this is going to be enough is enough. And yet,
more shootings, like the boy that went to pick up his sibling, and then went to the wrong house, and the man didn't even open the door. No. Behind closed doors, he shot the boy.
Yeah, but that was bad. Then he goes outside, the child is down on the ground, and shoots him a second time. And then, because he's a little black boy in a neighborhood that's not necessarily, have a lot of black people there, he's crawling and crying for help. And people would not come out to help him.
Oh my God.
Eventually, a man came out, a Latino gentleman came out, and he stayed with him until the ambulance got there. I'm sorry, that is not America. That is not who we are.
Where are the human sides of people?
Yeah.
The compassion, where is that? It doesn't matter what race you are. If you're shot, you're a child, anyone who needs help, for God's sake, get out and help. It's a child. It's not like a grown-ass man who you think that might shoot you back because they have some kind of weapon. No, it's a defenseless child asking for help. And thank God that he didn't die.
Yeah. There was a friend of mine, and she had... we had cell phones, but we had just started them, so it wasn't like, let me post what I did. So what she did is she calls me, and she's like, she was going to meet me at Valley Fair. It's Westfield something now.
Shopping center.
Yeah, but it's Valley Fair Shopping Center. And at the front of the building, there are banks. There used to be banks on the outside.
Yes.
So she went to the ATM, and she's talking to me on the phone, and she says, I just got to get some money, and then I'm gonna get in the car and I'll be on my way. She got in the wrong car.
What do you mean she got in the wrong car?
She's talking on the phone.
How did she get in the wrong car?
Because when she parked, her car was the only one in front of the bank. So she just went back and she got in the car. But the thing is, to let you know how into the conversation she was, because I'm like, why are you waiting to now to be getting money? You should have done that yesterday. And we're laughing, and then she goes, oh my God, because where she got in the car, but she's on the passenger side and she drove. Oh, now, there's a situation that just happened where a cheerleader was approaching the wrong car and got shot at.
Crazy. It's an Uber driver, right, that did that, because they got in the wrong car. Then they realized, they ran back out into the parents' car, and the Uber driver was shooting at them.
Yeah. Not yelling at them or saying, excuse me. I mean, that's all they had to do, because the girls would have been, and
would have said, I think you're not, this is the wrong car or something, right?
When did we go from the point of being able to make a mistake? So now, and then there was the other situation where the man was shooting. Somehow a ball bounced in this man's yard, and he got mad about the ball, and he started shooting. He shoots the father, glazes the little girl, and the little girl, she says, you know what? They asked her something, and she goes, I want him to go to jail forever. So the older generation may be afraid. The newer generation that's coming up, we're going to have gun control one way or the other. So you can kind of embrace it and come into it, because the children, parents, how are you going to have a legacy if your child is dead? And as you can clearly see, it has nothing to do with neighborhoods anymore. Our freeways, I mean, if you get near Oakland, you have to be careful now. At
880, 680, you got to be careful.
You have to be very careful, because, if I'm having a disagreement with you and I'm just going to shoot at you, people never think about, well, if my bullet doesn't hit you,
it's going to ricochet off something and hit
Yeah.
someone else's car or hit someone else's body and kill them.
Yeah. Back in the day, and some neighborhoods still do, at midnight for New Year's Eve, they used to shoot guns up into the sky. And then one day somebody started saying, well, where does the bullets go? And people kind of backed off of that. And that's what we have to do now. My husband, you know, he anytime someone will listen to him, his philosophy is that if you say you are a child, which means you're under 18, and you shoot somebody, he thinks you should go to juvie until you turn 18, and then you should go to prison. Because if you make it bad enough, maybe children will think, wait a minute now. Now, see, today at 17, when they turn 18, that record is expunged. It goes away like it never existed, and they get to go off and live their life. However, if it follows them, or if the parent who has a gun that doesn't store the gun properly allows their child to get the gun and shoot someone, once again, the parents should be responsible.
Exactly.
But right now, this, I don't know what happened. I don't understand. That's not going to work much longer, because children are walking out of schools all over America in protest of guns. Now, can you imagine, we're sitting here and all of a sudden there's an alarm and we got to drop and roll and crawl on the floor, and you have to do that every day. Every day. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
And that's what our babies are having to face today. So let's all of us as parents and adults stand up for our children and just change it. It's got to change.
Make a world a better place, like Michael Jackson
That's
said,
for you
right?
and me. We also lost another great person, Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte was an exceptionally good-looking man. I remember, you know, whenever he would perform, initially he was a singer. He put out 2 albums in 1955, and they were on the Billboard Top 100 list. And then there's this, what is it called? I think it's Caribe is the song, and well, the album title. And there's Dale, daylight come and I wanna go home. We used to all sing that. We'd be out in the streets and people would be going, what is Dale? We like, I don't know. I just like how it sounds.
We just loved it because it was so catchy.
Yes.
And it was easy to remember, and the tune was so great.
Yes.
I remember that.
And it was just perfect when we did like our little get-togethers out in the park. It would just be fun. And something that I did not know about Harry Belafonte. Now, if you look at pictures of Dr. King, you always see him arm in arm with him and Coretta and other, you know, walkers that were, you know, fighting for the rights of all people to be able to live in peace and harmony. When Dr. King was assassinated, Harry Belafonte took over the financial needs of Dr. King's family.
Oh, did not know that.
He took care of his wife and children.
Wow.
Bernice King said that on the day of the service that Harry Belafonte hired people, you know, babysitters to come in to be with her and her siblings while the mom went off to the service.
Wow. So
just an exceptional man, a very, very exceptional man. So, you know, he was a, you know, humanitarian activist. So at one point in life, he went after Jay-Z and Beyonce. And he's like, too much is given, much is expected. And you can't just sit here and make money. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to improve the community? Mm. So he had tough conversations like that with young people who were blessed and fortunate enough to have, you know, flexible income. Let's just call it that.
Wealth, I say.
Yes. Yes. So once again, may you rest in peace, and, you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to your family. You were an amazing, amazing man. And I mean, I love his voice. I used to love those songs. Dale. So now, since we're just kind of doing the music thing, let's talk a little bit about Ed Sheeran. Now, you know Ed Sheeran, right?
Ed Sheeran.
Now, what, you know, I love good music. if you can sing, play an instrument, I mean, I'm all in. And one of the things that he did very recently, I watched him. He was plucking his guitar, and he had, this little foot panel, and he would pluck, and then he'd hit the panel. Then the panel would play the song. He would go over and he would pluck, change the harmony, and he hit the panel. And then the two would harmonize.
Wow.
Okay? So now this is not somebody who just fakes. This is not nilly vanilly. This is not pretending I know how to sing and I don't know how to sing. Okay? So it just came out that the Marvin Gaye's family is suing him because they say that one of the new songs on his album sounds just like a Marvin Gaye song.
Well, it's his oldest song, Thinking Out Loud.
Right.
So that was the song that was really popular many
it's been around a long time.
Yes,
but
everybody's been playing it at their weddings and things like that. Yes, but now all of a sudden, you're right. He's been sued for copying Marvin Gaye's song,
right.
Let's Get It On.
Right. Now, there was another suit back in the day with, what's his name? Thicke and...
Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke and Pharrell got to get it. Marvin Gaye's was got to get,
what is it? Something line.
Yeah, Borderline or something like
yes,
that. But
yes.
Marvin Gaye was got to get it up. Got to give it up. Okay, now those two, when I listen, I'm like, okay, I can hear it. Because at a certain point, if I go la 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 la, I'm infringing on somebody. Really? There has to be something. If I had never seen Ed Sheeran do his little creative thing, I would have thought, oh yeah, he's just copying. But he's too talented. And like he said, I would have to be stupid to try and copy something and then go out and say, oh, I did that.
Right. He's not like that. And that reminds me of another one. Kelly Clarkson had a song and was sued because it sounded something like Halo from Beyonce.
Right.
People were saying that's
right.
a copycat.
Right. So, I always look at people. We have millions of songs. Every song has to have a groove and a tempo like another song. But when you think about the whole thing, it's like what they're saying is ridiculous.
It really is. It doesn't make sense. So we'll see. We don't know what's happening to this case.
Yeah, we will keep you informed.
Yeah.
But for us, it just sounds like they're kind of stretching. I don't know. We got some great news. Prince Harry has announced that he will be attending his father's coronation to be king. This is just my little humble opinion. I think that is wonderful. I think that is very, very gracious of him to do that, because his mom would never have been called queen, and he is going to watch his father be crowned king, and the woman who broke up his father's marriage to his mom be crowned as queen. I just, I know people think that he's just money hungry and blah, blah, blah. I really don't get that vibe from him. I just get the vibe that the way he was treated as a child and the way he saw his mom. People forget, a lot of people think, oh, they're so little. Like they'll do something and they'll go, he don't even know where his nose is.
Right.
And then, a week or 2 weeks later, the baby does what that person was doing. And you go, see, I know you thought that they're not paying attention, but babies are like sponge. And when you're young like that, to be in a position, and I understand, corporate power. If you don't think, oh, that would never happen, just look at America. Look at the NRA. That's corporate control. If I was the CEO of the NRA, I would say, you know what? ARs off the streets.
Yeah.
I would just, done. Nobody's trying to take away all the other guns. They're going to mess around till, well, it's going to be all the guns. And then they're really going to be upset. Because all of the money, they have gun shows. They have, you can go to the Cow Palace to a show and play with the gun and shoot it and bring it home. All it has to do with is what the perception is. And children pay attention. And Harry, I understand William, he's like, whatever. It didn't affect him that way. But Harry it affected him to see his mom. And I think some of it is because he was the youngest. He was the baby. She cradled him more. So that connection with her it was just so deep. So he'll be there. Duchess Megan will be with Archie because that is also Archie's birthday.
Yeah.
So I hope that by doing this, instead of them turning it into some garbage, they recognize it for what it is. They both decided to do the right thing for him to support his father and for her to recognize their child's birthday.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, I'll have to see. I'm debating, but I might just watch the coronation, try and look for it somewhere and see where it's being aired and just watch it. Because it'll be nice to see, even though I'm not really in agreement with making Camilla Parker Bowles queen. I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we hear lots about the word inflation. Inflation. Okay, young people, I want you to hear us really clear. Inflation is caused when people do the wrong thing. If you went out on Monday, and I'm going to put it in American terms, and you got a Happy Meal and you paid $5 for that Happy Meal, and you went out on Friday and that Happy Meal was $10, turn around, go to the grocery store, buy some ground beef and make your own Happy Meal. Do not succumb to the price. If a vendor, if a company says, oh, you see my little minion guy over there. If they said, you know, minions are now $200 a piece, there would be no minions. The ones I have is the ones I would have. I'm not going to pay $200 for something I paid $10 for. That's inflation. So what's hurting us all is because people keep buying things. They keep raising the interest rate to get the people to stop buying things. Mortgage rates have gone up $300 a month. That's ridiculous. We're all having really difficult times trying to sustain, and everything's getting higher and higher because people keep saying, oh my God, I don't know how I can survive, but here you go. Here's that money. No. I mean, I've even gotten to the point now when I go to stores, I will say to them, you know, this has you know, they put those tags, and I'm like, this isn't, I'm not going to pay full price. And the first, you know, because I told my sister, I said, I like the top, but, and I don't have time to be trying to take it somewhere. And the lady, she goes, oh, we can mark it down because it's damaged.
It's damaged, yeah.
But you don't know that. So if you don't know to ask. So inflation means we have to slow our roll. And if we slow down, they will slow down.
So for you young kids watching, if you're watching, or anyone that has younger kids, please explain to them that the more we buy into the inflation, if things are going up and kids are just not paying attention to the pricing and just paying for it, that's more pocket in the businesses, in the owner's pocket, right?
Right.
And they're going to think, aha, we have people buying. We've raised, let's say, a hamburger to $22 and you're buying the hamburger. Mm-hmm. Look, there's people buying our hamburgers.
Right.
So they're going to keep raising it.
Right.
The more you want to keep buying, the more they're going to keep raising it, and they're going to think there's people in demand for their products. Like Gloria said, we don't do that. As we know in our generation, we look, I'm not buying a hamburger for $22.
No.
It's got to have, I don't know.
I mean, it's got to have a side salad, French fries, you know.
A drink comes with a drink of our choice, and a bit of gold flake dust on it or something.
Something. And that's what we want you to do. And I know you might not believe us. Just try it. Instead of using your phone and tappy or credit card tappy, I want you to get $100 in $20 bills and then see how fast you spend it. Because that, when you put $100 in your wallet and then all of a sudden you go,
well, I'm down to my last 20.
Yeah, what did I spend? What did I spend my money on? You will become more attuned,
more conscious, mindful of where your money goes.
Yes, and that's what we need right now, because inflation could be handled right now if people would just stop spending money. Too much money.
Exactly, I agree 100%.
Too much money.
Think before you spend.
Yes, make sure it's something that you really, really want and really, really love. So as we shared with you, this is Autism Recognition Month. It runs from Saturday, April 1st through Sunday, April 30th. And one of the things that they're also looking at with autism is how the rates are increasing around the world, predominantly in the United States, where, like, say it was 1 in 1,000 child might test autistic. Now it's like 20. And they're trying to figure out, is some of this being caused by, because a lot of it we know is stress driven, and it's not just stress of school, it's just stress of things that are happening. So they're looking at social media, and they're going to start, running tests of, like I was saying to Rosetta, if somebody would say, oh, you ugly, and I say, your mama ugly, because I was a child and I was given a child's response. That was just an altercation between two people. It wasn't the world. And the next day, I would see my friend and I'd go, hello. And then she'd go, oh, don't be giving me no attitude. And we'd start laughing. It would blow over almost instantly. Now, if you do that and then someone shares it and someone else shares it and then it whoops around, by the time it comes back to you, you start hearing things like, you need to go kick her butt, or you're a punk if you let that happen, or you're this, all the negativity. Our children are not meant for all that negativity. So, the Autistic Society is running some tests. They're also doing more tests at school with children to find out. The socialization skills are just not there. Everybody's got this. Nobody wants to sit and have a conversation.
Right. And it's not allowing them to use their brain because they're so on autopilot, because you can get anything and everything on your cell phone. Whatever you want to see is there.
Yeah.
Really. So you're not using your brain to think for yourself or for anything. You could even Google, hey Google, tell me a joke or something.
Thank you. And
hey
it'll
Google,
do it.
It'll do it for you. So where is the power of being able to use your brain anymore?
And also with AI stepping up into the marketplace, I really, really employ parents to be very, very careful. Luckily schools are coming out with tools, so if someone submits a paper that was written by AI, they'll be able to tell. The way the papers flow, they're not necessarily the way a human being would do it. It's smart, it would pass, it's just a little off. So get your kids to go outside and play in the sun and enjoy life. We only have a day at a time, so enjoy life. So by the time we come back together, we will be out of Autism Awareness Month. However, there's a whole big conversation going on about, how depression rates are going up with our children. Where, I just cannot believe, we are still devastated about Twitch. Twitch looked like he had everything in life to live for. My husband said to me this morning, do you think if Ellen's show stayed on the air, Twitch would have stayed around longer? And I said, I don't know. I would hope so, because he had to go to work every day. There wouldn't have been all this isolation. The isolation from COVID brought on a whole new suite of things, a whole new list of issues. And so for me, the concern is it's not just that our children are taking their lives, they're violently taking their lives. Like when we were younger, if you had a conversation with someone, it would be, I'm going to take some pills and go to sleep.
Right.
Or I'm going to just drink. But it wasn't like I'm going to jump off a bridge and kill myself. I'm not going to take a gun and shoot myself. I'm not going to hang myself from the ceiling. Those are very, very traumatic. So we're going to continue to just monitor this. And if we hear of any tools that will help parents, we're definitely going to share. And if you hear of anything, please comment below. We know if you build a village, everybody will be okay. When I was a child, if I asked my grandmother something and I was like, oh, that don't make no sense, I would go and ask another adult, because it was a whole village. And they watched me as if I was their child.
Yeah. And the other thing about autism is that the rise of it is because not only because of that, it's also because of all the toxins, the environmental chemicals and toxins we're exposed to during birth when we're inside our mother's tummy. That it's not the mother's fault. It's just there's so many chemicals with our food and the environment that's causing all of this to go through into the baby and just cause a lot of illnesses when they come out. So it's very sad. We as parents have to really pay attention if your wife or you as a mother to be is expecting. Be very cautious of what goes in your body.
Read the labels. You would be shocked because I know a friend of mine who thought, oh, I only do fat free because I don't want the extra fat. And then we started looking at the sugar, and it's like, it's 0 fat, but it's 26 grams of sugar per tablespoon. I mean, things like that you don't even think of. Back in the day, all we had to do is give up like being around anybody that smoked, or if you smoke, stop smoking. If you drink, you couldn't have no alcohol. And then they would come out and they say, well, you can have half a glass of red wine because red wine's good for the heart, good for the baby. So
and no coffee, they said.
No caffeine at all. So it is quite challenging, but trying to be like, say, a social media person and being pregnant, that's hard because you're doing stuff that you might not want to do for the health of your baby. And I know some people have to do it because it's like, this is my living, this is how I make my money. Just be a little bit more careful, careful. So, as everyone knows, President Biden has finally announced that he is running for re-election in 2024. Thank God that's 18 months away. However, oh my God, that's 18 months away.
It's going to come by very, very fast.
Yes.
We're going to start getting all these campaigns and all these television ads.
And the one thing that I would just say to you all is we have seen what the world is like when there are people in charge. There's all that negative. And let's not go there. Let's not, I've heard that 60% of Republicans say that if Donald Trump runs again, they're all in. However, when they do a match between the two, President Biden still beats him. So then he'll be crying again for another 4 years that the race was stolen from him. I don't think he's going to be saying anything about those Dominion voting machines. Because now that they saw what happened to Fox, I think people go back off of that and say, well, the machines are right. They're going to have to find some other way to say it was fake news. I just think that we are all in for something better, more positive. And I hear what President Biden is saying is not done yet. And I'm sorry, when I see someone like DeSantis, who is eliminating books, I'm like, I just can't imagine someone trying to eliminate a book that's a factual book just because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Then that says that you got some issues you need to work through. You need to work into that because that's about you and that's not about our history. And if you ran away from a dictatorial country to come to the United States, stop trying to turn us into a dictatorial country. That doesn't work for us. So, like we said, we got 18 months to go. We'll keep you all attuned to what's going on because I don't know how that's going to turn out. So, we're having a beautiful day here in California. The sun is shining. It's good today because so far it hasn't been as windy. Because we've had beautiful sunshine, but the wind is so cold.
Yeah, lately it hasn't been that windy. Today it says the high is 87, which is good. It's not boiling hot, but it's warm. Yes.
So that's nice. But then I was talking to a friend of mine that's in Illinois, and she goes, yesterday, she says, we woke up to cloudy skies. It rained, then it got cold, so then they got a little dusting of snow, and then the sun came out and the wind picked up. I mean, they're like, not only are we confused, the plants are confused. They don't know, should we bloom? Shouldn't we bloom? So the weather is very, very chaotic right now. And if you are blessed with some sunshine, I actually wouldn't mind if it just cooled down a little bit because in California, due to all the rain that we receive, the mountains got a lot of snow. and the snow is starting to melt pretty fast. And unfortunately, the reservoirs are already at half or max capacity.
Wow.
And so everyone's trying to figure out where this water is going to go. And we have wonderful properties in like Fresno, where a lot of the fruit and foods, the fruits and vegetables are grown. And that beautiful land is underwater, like, 2 feet of water right now. So we want it to melt. We just don't want it to melt all too fast.
Exactly. Not
Yes.
too, yeah. That's the thing. Melt, but not too fast.
Not too fast. We also, because we keep telling you about climate,
Yeah.
we had a 3.1 earthquake this morning, and by the grace of God, I've heard no damage, no, bad situation. It was in South San Jose. So, I always think little quakes like that are good because it releases the pressure, so it doesn't build up in they call them like
The plates.
the plates shift, and I prefer a little shift to a bam.
Yeah.
So luckily we just had a little shift, so that part was really, really good. We haven't heard anything new about COVID, which we hope is a good sign. Other than the last thing we shared with you, they're looking at taking that final booster, the second booster that people receive, and making it a suggestion that every 6 months people at high risk get the
Well, at
new
least
booster.
now they're telling us, because we were
Right.
like up in the air, like how often do we take it?
Yes,
When do we take it? Is it like 3 months after, 4 months? Now it's saying 6 months, which
Yes.
is good to know.
yes. So now we know. So that's kind of the caveat there. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. It has been an honor and a pleasure to get to spend time with you all. We feel the love in the room with
And we
you.
send
We
it back
up
to
with
you.
Mwah. We are so grateful, and we hope you will always come and check us out. If there's anything in particular you want us to talk about, because we love to chat, just let us know.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments below.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we loved our chats. And if you loved our chat as well, please consider hitting the thumb icon. That shows you liked it. If you're new again, thank you, and hit subscribe, because we'd
Yes.
love to do way more chats.
Hang out with us.
Yes, and you can also hit that bell notification so you'll be the first to be notified when you can check out our chats.
Yes.
We've loved it so much. Thank you, everyone. And we are Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. And remember to always keep smiling.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.